Hello, everybody. I am Omega Recon Gaming, and Happy New Year's, everybody. And welcome to my game of the year. Well, there can only be one, but there are a lot of competitors. This year, we had a good amount of games that were okay or great. And deciding between a lot of these really broke my heart because I really liked a lot of games this year. It took the first beginning part of the year was really slow. I think just like Kirby was like the only good game I had for a while. I mean, there was the Pokemon games, but Legends of Arceus was. Let's just say that's not on the list. 3 Pokemon games within a year 2 time span. Oh god, Game Freak trying to kill me. And my wallet. Anyway, that being said, anything is fair game. Remakes, ports. However, I try to not have ports as much as I can, because however, I like to give every game a fair shot. So, this year, this list will be 10. It's down from the usual 5. I believe it's usually 5. Anyway, however, I'm gonna read off from my notes, which I diagrammed and literally finished to the last moment. I've been doing after every game, which I've been doing recently over the past few years, is I write something down, and more recently I've been writing a lot more so that I have more to look off of and go, okay, yeah, and go from there. So if you're wondering what my eyes are doing, I'm basically reading off the notes because there's a lot of games this year, and I don't fully remember everything that I said, and I wrote a lot of good stuff, so just bear with me. So here we go. Number 10, Sonic Frontiers. So I gave this game a 7 out of 10, and after I finished playing, I was very angry. I do plan at one point to probably go back and continue and finish this game. I do. However, and I was told by my friend that you can go back. You don't have to beat every level in order to progress through the game. I thought I had to in order to get the keys, but there are other ways of gaining keys, which making the level process, playing through those levels that are remakes of older levels, kind of pointless. I mean, there are easier ways, but anyway. So, let me start off the fact by saying I like this game. It is a 7 out of 10. However, I will say I like this game. But the jankiness really sucked me out of the experience. Also, the map reveal system is extremely stupid. I despise that. And I made that very clear on my Let's Play of it. That I really hated that. No other open world game works like that. It really angry, and the ones who work similar to that do it a lot better. Like Breath of the Wild, for instance, which people are saying are an unfair comparison, but it's an open world game, so However, Zelda did a lot of the things right, but this Sonic game does a lot of this game as a total is the most Sonic-y I've ever felt. Bugs included. So, but even then, it's it still plays pretty great, you know. And it's probably the most I've enjoyed a 3D Sonic game, at minimum recently, maybe of all time. But, you know. Um, Aside, I mean, just like everything just really hits. The combat is great. The story is kind of interesting. I just kind of fell off of it because, like, the characters, like, I don't like Amy at all. Like, I've never ever liked Amy, and I really wanted, like, but I like Knuckles, and I hope, you know, Tails, but I've heard that there's no Shadow, and I don't know why, because he's literally one of Sonic's friends, and he's his biggest rival, and having Shadow in the game would make the fans go, but no, they don't use Shadow for whatever. He's the focus of the third movie. Anyway, so side note, Sonic Frontiers has some great bangers. One of them being Undefeatable. I jam the shit out of that. I constantly jam out to that. That song is so good. This is what a difference is between a good Sonic game and a bad Sonic game, or an abomination, which we put this category, abomination. We have Sonic Boom. No, pretty much just Sonic Boom. There's probably some more. There's definitely bad games, which I would put Sonic 06, you know, Secret Rings, Black Knight, you know. Oh, godly shit. Chronicles, whatever that DS RPG thing. That was dog shit. I never played that as a kid, but I played it when I got older. It was really bad. Oh, anyway. When you have a good, at least a good or bad Sonic game, when you know you have a Sonic game, when you have at least one good song out of it. And this game has a few, but one is it's great. I love Undefeatable. I love it so much. So, honestly, the people who at Sega, I think they should, the soundtrack people, give them more raises, because they consistently write good songs. Like, Sega has a great, like, soundtrack department. It's so random, you know? They really do. Just like Santa Monica is great at writing story, or, you know, Insomnia just does a good everything. Because they do. I mean, they're responsible for Spyro. They're responsible for frickin' Spider-Man, Ratchet and Clank. Like, golly, just so many, just so many bangers. Anyway, sidetracks aside, the game is great. The things that are holding it back is the jankiness. Some of they should have been more creative with the levels instead of just remaking. I'm tired of remakes of levels. Give me something new, Sega. Give me something new. Stop giving me the same old shit. You made an open world, which is really cool. Like, I liked the open world. That was cool, and it was fresh and new, and that was cool. And the combat felt very Sonic-y. Like, it didn't feel like, oh, this doesn't feel like what Sonic would do, or, you know, like, some people have had complaints about, like, the Werehog, you know, that doesn't feel like Sonic. But this, and I disagree with that because it's fun. But this felt 100% like how Sonic would act, control, be. It's like it's mind-boggling to me that they could have been doing this all this time. All this time. And it's just frustrating. But with Sonic Prime now out, which I haven't got to yet, but my friend tells me it's good. Right now, the Sonic franchise is on a good-ish step. I mean, I've heard not good things about Origins, but they have the potential to make good games. It just shows me that they can do it. Hopefully they continue to try. Please. So yeah, that's number 10. I know. Jeez, it's been a long time on that one game. I'm sure a lot of these will be quick and rapid fire. So, next. So, number 9. Oregon Trail. So, when I was a kid, I played a lot of Oregon Trail games. And because they were educational games and they were in computer labs. And I got one from like a Scholastic catalog. I probably still have it if I look around here. But the point is, I loved Oregon Trail, even though I was stupid and didn't pick the skills tab and made the game so much. Even though it's already hard enough, I made it 10 times harder. So dumb. Anyway. And a lot of people make that mistake. They don't know that the skills was a clickable tab. Honestly, they should have, like, kind of like had you go into the skills tab, like, as a default screen, and then you go, like, when you're picking your character, like they do for this game. This game is such a great modern update. Like, it's great. It's still hard as shit, but it's in a way that it feels like another addition, but that's what it is. It's an addition, and it adds, and it brings more. And my God, does it bring so much more. The story is great. There's so many different storylines you can go down. Different people you can help. Different people you can assist. You can choose not to help. You can just say, screw you all. But they give you stuff for helping people that can be very clutch. Like, you might think you might be in a tough spot, but like at a moment, you give in your humanity and say, I kind of want to help these people. So you give them a medicine, and later down the road, or immediately they might give you something, or down the road they say, here, have this. I've had that happen multiple times where I'm doing okay, or sometime early on in the trail, I'm doing okay, and I give them a medicine because this guy got shot in the leg and he needs medicine, and I gave him medicine, and then later on he gives me something clutch, like ammunition or something I'll need at that moment. But no, the game doesn't like RPG give you it like, well, I don't really know because I need to play more games. I've only played one game and I really want to keep playing, but the reason I haven't is because there's so many. Like, the journey is very long. Like, it's like so much longer than the past version, which makes sense because it's a modern game, so it can be a lot longer. It takes a long, even on the fastest pace, it still takes a long time. I was playing this in my free time. It took me like a month because I was doing it. But still, like, It was a long fucking time. It won't take you that long, probably. But I was playing on and off, you know. And then Pokemon came out, so then I had to put Oregon Trail to the side. Because it's my favorite franchise. Like, it... Period. So I put it aside. So that also has something to do with it. But, like... There's so many different things. You can collect different wagons. Like, you can get a wind-powered wagon. That's pretty cool. Like, you could go to California instead, which the later games started to do that, where they offered you to go to California. There's a winter challenge where you start off right before winter and you have to survive winter, which, if you know the Oregon Trail games, they advise you 100%. Do not set off before winter. It is a death sentence, and I can concur. For all the times I played Oregon Trail, if you do not make it to Oregon before winter hits, you will almost certainly die. I've had it where I have survived, but I have definitely lost people. Whether it's through snow avalanches, whether it's through cold, sickness, just a multitude of things contributing. But, you know, luckily, in my first playthrough, I made it with time to spare before winter hit. Which, whew. Unfortunately, my main character, who I named after myself, fucking died. Literally, like, a few days before we made it to Oregon. Like, it was like I was on the desk. I was like, literally, it was like a thing away. And he just, like, he survived an accidental gunshot, like, twice, I think. The first time he almost completely died, and I barely saved him. And I got to a fort, and I repaired him, and then he was good. And then, later on, he suffered another gunshot, and that one killed him. Not immediately. I almost made it to a fort so that I could heal him, but he died literally right before I got there. It sucked. And the thing is, about this game that's the most brutal, he was my marksman. Which means I had to quickly... Luckily, I had a guy who also also trained in marksmanship, like, a bit, so that, if my guy was too tired, that I'd have the other guy do it. But, so when my main character died, he was all that was left. So if something happened to him, I'd be pretty screwed. And I was starting to run low on food close to the end. I was doing okay. But then, like, I hit, like, problems. The rivers are brutal. They be brutal. But anyway, there's, like, many things that are really great. Hell, you could travel from the Native American perspective. There's, like, a whole Native American storyline that you can do. And it's just great. It's an 8 out of 10. If you haven't played it, give it a shot. I think it's like $30-$40. And right now, by the time of this video, it's on sale on Steam. So, yeah, give it a shot. I think you'd like it. It's a great edutainment game. Alright. So, moving on to number 8. Kirby and the Forgotten Land. This is probably one of the best Kirby games. It's not the absolute best. It's probably number 2, though. The remake of Dreamland, that's the best one. I love that game. Or Return to Dreamland. Can't wait to. I'm probably actually gonna buy that. But yeah, this game does a lot to add to the Kirby formula. The new Kirby abilities are excellent, and the new just like abilities that he can personally do, not just like copy abilities, but like like swallowing the car, the fan, the the glider. A lot of it was really great. Like I didn't like really hate anything. The only thing I really didn't like is the story. It just really didn't grab me. It was just okay. It wasn't bad. It was just okay. And I don't play Kirby for its story. I play for his the adorable characters, the great gameplay. I had fun, and that's why I got an 8 out of 10. It's adorable. I did love the characters though. So while I didn't like the story as much, I did really like the characters. It's another game that you should play. It even got an award. Thank God it got something. Okay, next. Vanguard. Card Fight Deer Days. So literally, I was looking at card packs to buy for Vanguard. And I bump into this game. And I'm like, oh, they made a Switch game for it. And I'm like, huh. It's a shame they didn't release it in America. So then I'm like, and then I'm looking around more. And then I decided to look on the Wikipedia and see if maybe they had plans to release it stateside. And they do. And I was like, and it was like out for like a week or two. And I'm like, what? And I'm like, what? So this is the first Card Fight Vanguard game that was released in the West besides the mobile game. I made a rant previously about one that got canceled, and I really liked the interface because Card Fight Vanguard it's complicated at first, but once you get it, it's very addictive. Like the combat and everything, it's very addictive. I love the card game so much. I have so many, because like first I like played this game as like I found it, like I watched the show, and then I played the game, not like in person until like years later, but I played like the game online, and then I bought cards later on after I rediscovered it, after I was like, Vanguard, when it had a new show coming out, and I'm like, oh yeah. So then I watched the new show, and then I got into it, so then I bought the cards, and it was fun. It's really fun. Honestly, it's an amazing. So let's get into the review of the game because, So while the price of the game is a little high, I can kind of, because the game is so fun, I can kind of. So I played this game on Steam, which you guys have seen. I'm probably gonna do more gameplay, like play it online. Maybe do some future videos, which I almost definitely have in store for. So check out that if hopefully I do it and I actually commit to this. So I gave the game an 8 out of 10. It's an amazing card fight game with a good story. Yeah, I know, a card fight game with a good story. It really didn't have to have a good story because it's a card game. Who would expect a card game to have a good story? Nobody. But it did. And it does, like, shock and awe. Like, honest to God, 100%. It took me 100% off guard. How good the story was. I mean, it's not like Shakespeare, like God of War, but like for a card game, I play a lot of card games. Me personally, Duel Masters, the Pokemon trading card game, the Yu-Gi-Oh game. And you can also put Card Fight in there. Feel like I'm forgetting something. Looking at my card games. I'll probably think of them later. But my point is that traditionally, card games do not have good stories. And usually they're not really meant to. But it was really refreshing to see, characters being interesting, and I was just like, I came here for the card game, and I stayed for both of the card game and the story. So the combat, the card combat, it's really challenging, and it will kick your ass if you don't play well. It will kick your ass. But there's a great tutorial that really teaches you. Like, I didn't know the new rules because I haven't watched the new show. God, there's so many new shows. So I didn't know the rules, but I was willing to learn, and this game was gonna teach me. And I sat down and I learned it. I learned the different stuff. I don't 100% understand all of it. Like, order cards still kind of get me, but like I got the general idea. And it's great. It's challenging, but it's great. With no microtransactions at all. Like, at all. I wish there were... So, let me address some negatives. I wish there were more packs. But for how the game is, it's great. I do wish there were more packs. And I hope they do add more, but... who knows? They probably won't, but it would be so good to see it. I really want this game to succeed because Card Fight Vanguard really needs to be brought to the West because it's a great card game. It's very challenging. It's fun even if you lose. Like, Yu-Gi-Oh can piss me off when I lose, but I still like it. But after a few times of losing in Yu-Gi-Oh, I don't want to play anymore. But I play Vanguard, and I lose, and it just makes me want to win even more. I go back, and then eventually, I punch my fist against the wall, rebuild my deck, try different things, build new strategies, new combos, and eventually push my fist through the door, and I win. It's very satisfying. It's a great game. If you're a fan of card fight games, definitely check it out. It gets my seal of approval. Check it out if you can. If you're looking for a new card game to scratch your itch, check out Card Fight. It's really easy to get into. All right. So, this broke my heart to putting it at number 6, but the games above it are so high that it was really hard. So, number 6, Xenoblade Chronicles 3. This game is excellent. Let me just start right there. I wanted to give it more points. Honestly, I did. But it loses a point. Let me talk about some. I'm gonna go back and forth between positive and negative. Let's refer to my notes. So the music, it lost a point, as well as the combat. In my opinion, it's not as great as 2. It has some good things in it, and it's not the worst combat. That goes to Xenoblade 1. That's fucking shit. But Xenoblade 3, it's kind of like the middle child in terms of combat. It's not bad, but it's it's not the game's strongest suit. It can be fun. I'm not saying it's not. But it was fun and it was better in 2. But what this game does better is the story and characters are so much better than 2's. Not that 2's are bad in any respect, but this game really 100% flushes all of these characters. And by the time you're done with this game, you love a majority, if not all of them. And that's pretty impressive. So the blade system is replaced by heroes, like allies, which function the same thing as blades. And I really do like almost all the heroes. I really enjoyed them. And it's really fun. And it's great. And as much as I really do like this game a lot, I'd still say Xenoblade 2 is the better package deal. As much as I really enjoy how darker the story is and enjoyable it is, and I loved it from start to end, Xenoblade 2 also has a great story, but it also has a great combat and it has great music. It just checks more boxes for me, but this is still a great game. If you're looking for a new Xenoblade game and you haven't played this game, I would try it. It's still good, and if you're looking, it's still also just a great RPG by itself. It's still a great game. Like, it does fix a lot of things, like the map is so much better in this. Oh, thank God. And tutorials are better in this. Like, this does do some things that are better. But the better package deal is Xenoblade 2. And I want to make that known. So. Okay. Top 5 time. You guys ready? Let's do this. So. Welcome to our first Call of Duty game on the top, on the, top of the games of the year list for, or at least PlayStation 5. It's Call of Duty MW2. So, they were not clear when they were talking about this game. It's a reboot. The series as a whole is in a reboot. So it's a remake, like it's a reimagined kind of. It's so annoying. They just. It's unfair because the story of the original is great. And it did get a remake, but it was released during COVID. And the multiplayer for that was not released. And I'm mad about it because I loved those guns. And I may never get that. I may never get that one-to-one perfect remake of that. I got the campaign, which I will probably play. Fingers crossed. But this game, besides the annoying marketing, is one of the best Call of Duty games I've ever played, if not the best. It's probably not the best, but it's very close. It might be tied with Black Ops 2 and the original MW2. This game's multiplayer is so... it's so good. It's so good. The microtransactions are not that bad. Like, they're not like... They're skin deep. That's what they are. They are skin deep. And no more crates. You unlock almost everything, if not everything, through the normal gameplay. I still have yet to play the Battle Royale because I don't like Battle Royale, but maybe because it's Call of Duty, maybe I will like it. And I love the shooting and the combat, so maybe I will like it. Maybe I'll do a stream on it We'll see. I plan to do more streams of Call of Duty MW2. Definitely down the line. I really want to do it. Because this game is excellent. This game, the guns, most of the guns play great. Soundtrack is good. It's very Call of Duty. Let's see. So back on the, I'm gonna jump back to the guns real quick. I don't really usually like to use snipers, or I never like to use marksmanship rifles. But in this game, so far I've liked them. I haven't gone through all the guns yet, which, you know, but like, I consistently do well in this, like no other CODs do I play consistently well, but in this game, I play consistently well, like above a positive kill death ratio, which, like, it's like shock and awe for me, because like this game, I almost always have a positive, and even when I don't, I still have fun. But most of the time, I'm finishing not just in like the top, 3, but most of the time, I'm second or first place, which for me, that's pretty good. Because you all know, I'm either mid to shit. I play COD on like easy difficulty in the story, but when it comes to the campaign, when it comes to the fucking multiplayer, I fucking slay. And I don't use cheap tactics. I'm mixing my guns around, and so it's fun. It's fun. They do a lot of interesting tweaks, like you don't stay with the same lobby. You get a new lobby like every match, and there's no in between. When you're so you can't make a gun in between. You would have to back out, or during the match, you can take your gun, put a silencer on it. Mid-game, you'll have to die first, for that, change to go through. But you can make a change mid-match. Let's say you just, like in the match, I unlock a silencer or a new reticle that I want to use. I go into the menu, takes me like a few seconds, and then boom. Next time I spawn, I'll get that onto my gun, and then I continue the rest of the match. It's pretty damn cool. You can make complete customization, I think, except for skin changes. That you have to do outside the map, But like, no, it's great. The battle pass I paid for, but it's like $10, and it's pretty fun. I actually really enjoy using the battle pass to get different stuff. It's a little scummy, but for Call of Duty, could have been a lot worse. And a lot of it is just guns that you haven't already unlocked, so it really helped me with unlocking things. It's like certain guns or attachments that were further down the line, and I found cute ways to cheat it. Like I got a silencer that's later, but you can mix and match. Sure, you lose the special buffs that you get with them, but you can still unlock the minimum thing, like the attachment, like if you get it much later, but you can still use it. The problem is that you lose the buffs that you get by maxing the weapon out. And it feels really satisfying to max a weapon out. Like in past, It feels good. A little annoying because you have to reset with levels, but in this game, you don't do that anymore. In this game, you reach the max prestige, nothing happens. You just keep leveling up the guns, which to some is bad, but the challenges that you have on the gun will not, you'll keep going. I actually kind of prefer this because I actually really didn't like being reset every time with the guns and the... It's annoying, it's annoying. I like, building, my classes and everything. And not having to keep reset it and remember what I had on each. So literally I've had to take pictures and be like, all right, this is what I had, this is what I... And rebuild the classes or get to the level so I can put on certain part. It's just, it's so annoying. I'm so tired of that. It's just so much extra work when this one's like, all right, you can unlock all the guns if you hit a certain level to unlock the next gun. But not like personal. Well, most of them are like a personal level, like the starting guns in each class, and a little bit after that. But then after that, you just have to level up the guns. And that's, and a lot of the guns feel really great. I really haven't felt a gun that I really didn't like to use, to be honest. Like the only one is like the M16, which I've never liked three burst weapons. Hell, I really don't even like single shots that much. But even then, like the pistols in this game, they're pretty damn good. I like using them. They're fun. A lot of the guns are remakes of MW2 weapons, but in the modern day. And that's pretty cool. So, with all this positive stuff I've been saying about the game, what could be wrong with it? Well, I don't just play the multiplayer. I also play the campaign. And I want to like it. I really do. But my God, there are like 3 or 4 stealth missions. And I hate them so much. And as much as I do like when it's not a stealth mission, as much as I like, when it's not a stealth mission, the story's great and it's interesting. And you're upside down from a helicopter shooting at things and it's cool. And it's just like... And then in the next game, you're up on a mountain sniping. You can't, make sure you take out the targets and you don't miss a single one or you're fucked. Because that's Call of Duty, the very action-packed game. Sitting on a mountain and slowly going... Previous scene, upside from a helicopter shooting your pistol or assault rifle at trucks with action-packed music. Next scene. Like, I would rather sneaking into a building, not slowly moving. Well, like being able to engage with an enemy, like what do you call those missions? A break-in, like when you put the stick charge and blow through and then move room to room. Like those can be action-packed and you can, kind of stealthy, but not like annoying. Like, there are parts in the game where you're lying down, like in ghillie suits, waiting for enemies to walk over you or walk around you, and you cannot move at all. Like, at all. Or they will start shooting at you and you will die. So you just have to sit there, and you just gotta wait. Because that's what I want to do when I'm playing Call of Duty. Sitting and wait for the enemy to pass and not just dropping them like fucking rocks. Like, I appreciate the attempt. Like, if you want to include that mechanic, put it in the Spec Ops. If people really want to do, where you're trying to, do the clear, like sniping for them, let it be in Spec Ops. Don't force the action-packed players of Call of Duty just sit around and wait for enemies to walk over them or to frickin' just snipe. And because sniping is not fun. Sitting there, you gotta get up, move up to a different location, get a better angle, taking out more. Like, that's a little interesting, but like, even then, it's like, it's boring. I would rather go in there, guns blazing, fucking. It's frustrating. But you know how much I hate stealth. Like, if it was one stealth section, I could maybe let it slide. 3 to 4? Nope. 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 I hate it. 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 And it's such a shame because, man, they put so much effort into like the story. And like, fuck. And Captain Price has never looked so good. The soaps never look so good. Ghost looks good. And they interact with each other very interesting. Like, they're not just stock NPCs. They talk like real fucking people. Like, they've known each other for years. Gone through missions and missions together. I hate that I have to be the bad guy here, but I hate what I hate, and I hate stealth missions. I play Call of Duty for action. That's why I play Call of Duty. I don't play to sit around and snipe. When in the multiplayer, I snipe in certain maps, but I don't snipe all the time, because sniping is boring if you do it all the time. And even then, I can't stay in the same spot once because a guy's going to come around from the side, and get me, if I just stay in the same spot. But in the campaign, you stay in the same spot, nobody's going to bother you. Just sit up there, shoot. Sit up there, shoot. Sit up there, shoot. It's not fun. So hopefully they realize this and, stop it. Stop it. If you want the sniper missions in, or the stealth missions, put in the Spec Ops. Or survival mode, or whatever. Don't put it in the campaign. Or if you're gonna do it, do something interesting with it. Aside from that, it's great. It's excellent. Pick up this game. If you love Call of Duty shooters or whatever, pick it up. I definitely recommend it. Alrighty then. So, we are leaving the 8 out of 10s and now moving to the 9 out of 10s. Number 4, Pokemon Scarlet. So, unlike Arceus, which I played this year, and I thought was, at best, a 7 out of 10. At its best. At its worst, I did not like it. It's not the Pokemon game I hate the most, but I definitely didn't like. So, going from Shiny Pearl to this, going from Shiny Pearl to Arceus to this, Shiny Pearl was great. I loved it. I know a lot of people didn't like it, but I think it was a great remake of Gen 4 that actually made me like Gen 4. So, I didn't really like Arceus. I know my best friend loves it. Anyway, but this game, we both agree, is great. And so let's talk about what I like. I love the Pokemon. I love... Well, I just love everything. I love, the music. Oh, God, Penny's music is such a fucking banger. I love it. It's so... If you have not heard that, oh, my God, look up Penny's theme. Just on YouTube or whatever, and just it's great. It's so good. I love it so, and a lot of the songs are excellent. I'm really sad that Scarlet came out as late as it did because it can't win Game Award stuff, because it should win some stuff. So everything is pretty great. There's some things I don't like the cooking system. I don't like it. I think it sucks. I really do. I think it sucks. And it really doesn't feel like it really gave me a boost. The effects were negligible. And it wasn't fun. It just wasn't fun. Not compared to Sword and Shield, where I actually liked cooking in that game. It was actually fun. It wasn't a complete and utter hassle. Okay, let's go to the other things I didn't like. The level balancing. Since it's an open world Pokemon game, I expected there was going to probably be some problems with it, because this is a problem I've not had before. So the level balancing was terrible. But I still enjoyed the game. I still, the gym leaders for, when the very first time in a long time, actually really gave me a struggle. Even when I'm trying, they did give me a struggle. They didn't team wipe me, but they did give me a struggle. They did wipe a few of my guys out, and that's pretty impressive, because I bounced the shit out of my team. So, I think the freedom idea is an interesting idea and concept. I did like doing, I didn't think I would like doing the Titans, but they were okay. And I did like the storyline that went along with it. The Team Star, they were the weakest out of the three stories. I sympathize with them. I really do, because, bullying sucks. But they're... as much as I hate Ultra Sun and Moon, I still love Team Skull. The one thing I like from that game is Team Skull. This game, Team Star is the weakest team I've probably ever seen. And that's saying something, because I did not like Team Yell. I did not like, freaking... What am I can't think of its name. Anyway, point is that I liked doing the gym leaders was the best part. I did really like the personalities of the gym leaders. They felt very alive for once. I liked the streamer gym leader. She was my favorite. But a lot of them were really great. The only problem is that the badges. One of the big reasons I play Pokemon is for badges. My goal is to get through and beat all the badges. It's another reason why I didn't like Ultra Sun and Moon, because they took badges out. They did that for Sun and Moon, and that's why I didn't like that game. But at least for one game, it was different, and not like Ultra Sun, which was literally the same game. It was literally the same game with a few little, but like, it'd be one thing if like I didn't like my time with Sun and Moon, but like it was, I was like, okay, one time thing, they changed it, but Ultra Sun and Moon was the same fucking thing, but worse. Like, at least like the story for that game was okay, but for Ultra Sun and Moon, it was terrible. It was terrible. I don't even want to get into Ultra Sun and Moon right now. The point is that I really like Scarlet and Violet. Back to Colors is great, but it won't last. I really think, though, that they should give Pokemon games a lot more time, because 3 games in like a short time frame, man, it made this game fucking buggy. And usually I'm Pokemon games are usually pretty solid. Sure, they have some bugs here, but like I almost never run into them. This game, I ran into several like bugs and stuff. Not game-ending bugs or, things that were that annoying. Honestly, they made me laugh more than I was really angry. But just a lot of weird design choices, like making the Pokemon size accurate to how they are. So, like, a lot of Pokemon will be too small for you to see from just glancing, especially in handheld mode. It's just so frustrating. I like the idea of the ride Pokemon coming back and staying, and I hope they keep doing that because I love ride Pokemon. No HMs. Oh yeah, final point. Customization, probably the weakest it's been. Like, you can't customize your pants, like, at all. Why? Like, if I didn't want to be in a student uniform, don't make me. If I want to wear a different shirt, let me do that. Like, they did have a lot of customizations for hair, which was nice. And color. Golly, for color. Then again, man, like, it's frustrating, And the backpack customization was pretty lame. These were some of the weakest backpacks I've seen. I know that's a small detail, but I'm staring at it the whole fucking game when I'm looking at the back of my character when they're running. So, might be a small point to some people, but I'm literally looking at it the whole fucking game. I do like that they've continued some of the things, like the bag being, like, your box, being able to, you can switch wherever you are, which, I think that's pretty much it. It's a great game. Definitely a really great game. It just has some things that really irritate me. Not enough to really take off many points, because I still am playing the game and enjoying it. And I'm still doing after game stuff. But overall, it just I can't give it a perfect 10 out of 10. Not in good conscience. Definitely one of the better Pokemon games to come out in recent time. So, take that for what it's worth. Alright. So, number 3. Coromon. Also a 9 out of 10. Though, early I was debating on whether to give it a 10 out of 10 or a 9 out of 10. And I think I'm sticking with the 9 out of 10. Because it's a great game. It definitely is. It's the best Pokemon ripoff there is out there. It has a lot of features that Pokemon games need and should definitely have. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, it's a really great game. It's cheap too. Like, golly. Honestly, I really think a lot more people should play it. The amount of different mons is great. It does a lot of things. It's got a great story. Soundtrack is great. It just really involved. It does a lot of things that people have complained about from Pokemon games. The art style is great. Everything just really polished and good. It's very close to getting a 9 out of 10. And I could very much put... The only thing holding it back is that I've been debating whether I feel like I could play it again. I could. Probably. But that's why it's either a 9 or a 10 out of 10. I could honestly flip it either way. Honestly, it's an amazing game. Really put a lot of effort into it. For an indie game, it's great. And it scored better than the Pokemon game, so. Better be careful, Nintendo. It's not like frickin' Temtem? I don't know why people like that. I really don't get it. I bought it and I play it and it's just so confusing. Compared to like frickin', Coromon, Temtem's just confusing and annoying. I mean, it tries. It does try. And I won't deny that. But Coromon's better. It's better. If you haven't played it, fucking just do it. Just do it. If you want an RPG that's good, play it. If you want another Pokemon-like game, play it immediately. Play it immediately. It's really good. You can get it on Switch, I think. I think a Switch version is coming, if it's not out already. Play it on Steam. It's excellent. Do it! Do it now! Alrighty then. So now we're getting down to the top two. Number 2. God of War Ragnarok. Now, if you follow me on Twitter, you have seen me pushing for that game to get Game of the Year, which I do definitely believe it earns. As for the gamer masses, I believe this game, in general, earns Game of the Year, because in the populace, it's Game of the Year. It's not to knock it at all, to knock the first choice off, but one of these games is more known than the other. God of War is in a big established franchise, and the 5th one in this, franchise, it's amazing. It's amazing. It does a lot of things better than the original God of War. It does combat better. It does story better, characters better. So customization better. My God, I'm still learning new things about it. It's great. The only reason why God of War is rated higher, like the original one, I probably would knock it down to 9 out of 10 now. The original one, instead of being a 10 out of 10. Because it kind of because this God of War, it does everything great. The only thing it really suffers in, and it really suffers hard, is the Atreus section. The Atreus sections are god awful. Not story-wise. Well, no, in story-wise too, because Atreus, I know he's still learning. He's just becoming a man, but golly, the boy, he's trying to be ready too quickly. And, like, he does have some great scenes. That's not to say he does not have some great scenes. But if you've watched my playthrough, I despised the Atreus sections. Dreaded them whenever they came up. And was begging to get back to Kratos. I hope if they continue this franchise and they have you play as Atreus in the future, they make him a lot more fun. Because at least they let you, like, smack things with him. Which, God, that does help make it a lot more tolerable. Ugh. But it's still good. The story hits hard. Like, God, it really hit me in tears. And it really evolved the story even further. And for Kratos and Atreus and Freya and Mimir, everyone got their chance to really get fleshed out and just really just come into their own. Like, Freya in the first game, she was there in the beginning and then got more as the game towards the end. But, like, you got to have her as an assist, and that was great. And, like, you know, and her beef with Kratos early, and then them working out their problems. It's very real. Like, Kratos has been through a lot of the similar things that Freya's been through. He didn't want to have to kill her son, but he gave him no choice. It was either him or her, and Kratos gave him a chance. He gave him an honest to God chance. And it's not like a quick forgive. They give it the weight and, you know, thing. And she doesn't 100% forgive. I don't believe. I could be 100% wrong. I think I know it takes her a long time to kind of, like, she says there's a part of her that will never forgive him. But for the most part, she does forgive him. And, you know, they get, you know, they hit like a really good stride with how they deal with Kratos being with Atreus. And we even get to see their mother of Atreus, Faye. We actually get to freaking see her alive. Well, not alive, but like through dream sequences that are not forced. They're actually very interesting. And, you know, Kratos is like, they're throwing out death flags that Kratos might die, and they might. So it keeps you suspenseful. Like, is this where they kill Kratos? Because genuinely, the player does not know, and they go through many scenarios where they could kill off Kratos, and they honestly could. But what they do with Kratos is very interesting, and I really don't want to spoil anything more because it's an excellent game. Is it better than the first in the remake? Well, not remake. Oh, God. I hate that I have to try to differentiate. Companies make this so confusing. Just have a clear definition of what the fucking game is. There's a lot of references to the old games. Hell, there's even a reference to when Kratos was in Mortal fucking Kombat. Which, hilarious. There's references to a PSP God of War game. It's very interesting, you know. And God, man, is this game funny. This game had me laughing hard at some of the jokes, man. Like, man, it hits you with the feels and the lows, and it should have won Game of the Year. It should have won. It was robbed, and it's bullshit. Fuck Elden Ring. Fuck it. Fuck it. It's a great game. Moving on to our Game of the Year. Here we go, everybody. My Game of the Year for 2022 is Triangle Strategy. This game is a 10 out of 10. This game is absolutely excellent. I fell in love with this game. I was intrigued when Square revealed it. I was hopeful. I was nervous because I'm like, Square, you made me nervous. You've given me some of the best games I've ever enjoyed, and you've also given me the worst. Quiet, man. So, I was nervous, but it could be very interesting, and what it turned out to be was extremely worth it. Choices matter. They really do. This game puts you up against the fucking wall, and you fight hard. You know, you have to do what's best for yourself, for your kingdom, for the whole land of Norzelia. It's so good. I'm considering just buying it on Steam just so I can show it off. Or I really need to buy a freaking, what do you call those, capture card so I can show it off, because I'm really tired of having to buy shit again. I really need to find out what other people are doing and then just do that, get the capture card, record that shit, boom, done. Aye. This game is amazing. I love the combat. I love the story. I love the characters. I love the art style. I love it immersed me. The soundtrack. I love the. I would play this game. I would play it again. I've played it several times for the different endings. It's amazing. It's fun. It's interesting. Playing it through New Game Plus it's still good. The levels balance. You get new characters going on different routes, and you get to keep your old ones through New Game Plus, which means by the final, golden path, you have all of the characters, and they all contribute in the final battle, and it's hype. All the endings are good, but the final ending, the golden ending, it's amazing. It's amazing. I love this game. I absolutely love this game. Check this game out if you haven't already. Get it on. It's now available on Steam. I think it might be available in the Epic Games Store, but I'm not 100% sure. It's available on Switch. Get it. Get it, get it, get it. If you love RPGs, especially if you love tactical RPGs, you need this game in your collection. You need it. It's great. It's amazing. You need to play it. It's great. That's all. It's amazing. I love it. I fucking love this game. Another great job, Square. Thank you guys. I know that kind of ended abruptly, but this video's already gone for an hour already, so I gotta start wrapping it up. Thank you guys so much. I may release a worst games of the year list. Still considering on it, but maybe. We'll have to see. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I can't wait for this year's games.